Hey everybody, I'm going to do a really quick how-to on how to start knitting. There are a lot better ones available to you, I'm sure, than the one that I am about to give you, but I'm giving it to you right here, so you don't have to look for them. I'll put that list though in the description box if you go over to our YouTube channel and take a look at that. It's bit.ly/Wabash Teens. So you can look at the YouTube channel and see everything that we have as recommendations for you. But here's my tutorial. So the first thing you need is yarn. I'm going to be working with 2 colors today to show you a knit stitch. This first part is going to be a little bit hard for you because casting on, which is starting to knit, is always a little bit complicated to start. So if you know someone who can knit, have them help you the first time. And if you don't know someone, just take it real slow and practice. There are a lot of different ways to do this. Just do your best. So you're going to take your yarn, grab it in your hand, put it over your thumb, and then around your thumb to make an X. See my X? Take your needle, put it through the top, and catch the bottom. And that has made you a slip knot. There are other ways to make slip knots. This is mine. If you ever lose a stitch off your needle, you can slide it right back on through the loop. Okay. Here he is. You are going to divide your short tail here, your long tail here, and the more stitches you want, the longer this tail right here, the short tail that's not attached to the ball of yarn, needs to be. So stick your forefinger and your thumb through, separate them, grab them in the middle. So once again, you have your thumb, you catch the yarn that's around your thumb, and then you catch the yarn that is on your forefinger, and you will have a stitch. So catch the yarn that's here at your thumb, catch the yarn by your forefinger, and you have a stitch. So you're going to do that. And because I'm doing a very small project, I am just going to make us as many stitches. And yes, I know I'm going fast. Rewind the video if you want to see me explain it again. I'm just going to do a few stitches here so that we get the idea. Okay. I'm going to stop when my tail is the right length that I can weave it in, but not too short that I can't weave it in. And then I take my other needle, and I'm going to take my other yarn now so that you can get an idea of the difference between my stitches that are on the needle and my stitches that I'm making. Okay? To do a knit stitch, you're going to stab through the front of your stitch that is first on the needle. Stab right through the front. So I'm going to turn it so that you can see it a little easier. Here's a loop. I'm stabbing through the front. Okay? Then I'm going to take my yarn. This is the part that is attached to the ball. And I'm going to go around the needle, going front to back. And then pull it through. And then I don't want to leave that white part there. It's coming off. So my active yarn, the yarn attached to my ball, is the one I'm going to work with. So stabbing through the front, wrapping around, going through, and the white part goes off. Stab through the front, wrap my yarn around. It's going to look like that in the back. Pull it through and off. I'm just going to do this down the length of my work in progress here, all the way to the end. And again, if you're confused, rewind and I'll explain it to you again. There are lots of different needles you can work with. There's lots of different yarn weights that you can work with. This is a worsted weight yarn, and this is a size 8 needle. That's a good place to start. If you have wrist issues though, I would go for a circular needle because I get tendonitis. The length of this needle is going to be a problem for me long term. A cabled or a circular needle is going to be shorter than this and then have a cable here that attaches it to this other needle. And that means that my wrist can move a little easier and I have less pain. So keep that in mind if you have tendonitis or arthritis. Okay, we're at the end. Where do we start? Well, the same way we did before. Stab in, wrap around, pull through. And you're gonna keep going like that. A lot of people who are starting, I'm gonna take this out real quick. A lot of people who are starting to knit make a big mistake here, and that's that they get confused about leaving a stitch on their needles, and then they will either leave it there, slip it accidentally, and keep going, and then that will make the side of your knitted work uneven. Another thing that you can have problems with here at the end is leaving this really loose because you're afraid you're going to drop a stitch. That's going to be real weird looking at the edge. You want to make sure, and a lot of knitters are like this when they first start, that you just have it nice and tight. You don't need to yank on your yarn so tight that it's really painful to your hands, because it will be, but you do want to keep an even tension or gauge, and your first knitted piece is going to look terrible, and that's okay. You don't have to worry about it. Lots of people's first knitted projects look terrible. My first knitted project was a blanket for my American Girl doll when I was 9. I caught my mother repairing it, and then later I caught my grandmother repairing what my mother did. So, you know, you'll learn as you go. So when I get to the end here, I'm going to turn it around again and stab through, okay? If you need help, I'm in the children's room. I will not knit your piece for you, but I will give quick advice and corrections. So come see me if you need me, and come to our portable creative meetings, and I will put the info for that in the description box.